Hari Om and good morning from Niagara Falls. If you ask a typical person about why they wear bindi, why they wear tilak, some answers may be it's fashionable. But the real reason why one wears a tilak, one wears a bindi, is a reminder that these two eyes, my biological, my fleshy eyes, they see differences. Male and female, young and old. This is my eye of wisdom, where I use my intellect, where I see unity, that we're alive for the same reasons. A great saint, his name is Surdas. Some say he was born blind, some say he was blinded later in life. I feel that he became blind. He constantly offered his prayers to Bhagavan Krishna out of gratitude for becoming blind. That way he can only see Bhagavan Krishna and he doesn't need to see anyone else. In the beginning of Aranyakanda, we have Indra's son Jayanta, who turns into a crow and he causes Mother Sita harm. So Bhagavan Rama teaches him by shooting a Brahmastra at him. And then he forgives him also, but that Brahmastra has to be utilized, so he removes one of Jayanta's eyes. So he's known as the one with one eye. And the deeper meaning behind that is that he saw Dvaita. He saw himself as separate from God, which is why he tried to test God. But by removing that eye, he's removing Dvaita. He's removing that separation between himself and God. Now he always feels that presence of God. And I'll take this to a cultural aspect also. In Bharat, when someone passes away, we offer toya and pinda to that body. On that funeral pyre, we offer handfuls of water and handfuls of balls of rice. And we wait there to see if a crow comes to that body and eats that rice. Because what is shared is that a crow knows how much papa and punya, the balance of papa and punya of that body. And that if a crow goes and eats that rice, then that person lived a life that's more virtuous than vicious. So they're going to go to a higher embodiment. Now, all of that is not true. I don't care what direction you study this from. A crow does not know how much papa or punya one has experienced. But what I do like is that the idea of a crow with one eye, their focus is on papa and punya, and specifically on not committing adharma, and that is following dharma. So next time we see a crow, it shouldn't be, that's a dirty animal, I don't want to be like that. I feel we should be very focused like that too, which is why we're studying Vedanta in Ramayana. That is to try to see the real ayana, the real path of Rama to Rama. Aranya is a forest. A forest is often compared to Maya. What does Maya mean? Illusion.
It seems like it doesn't exist.
that which seems to exist but it doesn't. And at a feeling level, it is that which makes the impossible possible. That my nature is joy, yet I hardly smile. Hardly cause anyone else to smile either. Makes the impossible possible. So how do you reconcile this force that makes the impossible possible? What will you use? You have to bring in kripa. Kripa, or grace, also makes the impossible possible. We feel it's impossible to come out of Maya, but it is possible if you use the same strategy as Maya, and that's where we bring in kripa, this aranya, Chitrakuta. Now when people travel to Bharat, they go to Chitrakuta as part of a pilgrimage, isn't it? As part of a yatra. Do you go to your local forest like that? But that forest has become special because of the presence of Rama. I shared with all of you, a place is not intrinsically negative or positive. It's the person who makes it negative or positive. And for us, that's like satsang. If you're with a satsangi, you can be in the most vicious place, but satsang can happen there, correct? You can be at the bar, but if you bring a good book, Bhajagovindam, Ramayana, then that place becomes an ashram. If you're thinking, I'm not encouraging you to do that. You're all smiling, saying, yes, this is our raw for the week, correct? It's Thanksgiving. If you can keep positive thoughts, then you stop focusing on the place completely. So we are in Aranya, but we have Kripa. And we completed our study last week where Mother Anasuya is giving Mother Sita marital advice. And I want you to note, a woman is giving a woman advice. Okay, this is not a man giving a woman advice. You may not have caught that. Because then you're like, yeah, then, this is more absorbable as this is being shared. And generally, what Mother Anasuya shared is that the best type of woman is the one who has one husband and there's no one else. The second best type of woman has one husband and treats all other males as relatives. If I can go back to the best woman has one husband and everyone else is also a woman. That's how they think. There's only one husband, everyone else is a woman. The third best type of woman has one husband and is restrained to have one husband out of her own virtue or concern for family life. And the fourth best type of woman has one husband and doesn't have any other husbands out of fear and lack of opportunity. No one else is interested in her, so she feels like I'm not interested either. And then I said the Vedanta part of this has nothing to do with being a man or a woman. It has to do between one's relationship with God. That the best human being, the best bhakta, there is only Bhagwan, and everyone else is ambassadors of Bhagwan or bhaktas. When we use terminology like Pati Parameshwara, we are not saying that our Pati is Parameshwara. We're not worshipping our Pati, we're worshipping Parameshwara. Here at Chinmaya Dhara, in front of me is marble. On the ground, I think it's Turkish marble, and then there's Jaipur marble. These eyes know that. I'm not worshipping marble. I am worshipping Bhagwan. So with our spouse, with our child, with our neighbor, it's not you're worshipping the actual human form or name. You're worshipping the Parameshwara that allows that. They are icons of that. We take Pati Parameshwara so literally, which is why then we revolt against such teachings. We continue. We're still going to stay with Mother Anasuya and Atri Rishi. I am going to the 5th section of Chopais. I said 5. And we're going to read the Sorta. And that's the 4th line in the Sorta in the 5th section of Chopais. This is what Mother Anasuya says to Mother Sita. Tohi prana priya Rama kahiyu. I know that Bhagwan Rama is dear to you and you are dear to Bhagwan. There's no infidelity even in thought between you two. Kata samsara hita, but I'm sharing this kata, I'm telling this not for you but for samsara, for everyone else who may be hearing this. We'll go into what happened leading up to this. Valmikiji shares that Bhagwan Rama lived in Chitrakuta for 10 years. He was in the forest for 14 years, 10 of those were spent at Chitrakuta. And the longer he lived there, the more people came to know about that. It became a busy place, right? In Mumbai, people know where Amitabh Bachchan lives. And even though there are high fences and all of that, they still wait there. They don't wait if I lived in Mumbai, nobody would be waiting there. Correct? And the more people who come to know about Amitabh Bachchan, the more tours that go by there and time-lapse cameras are set up. So Bhagwan Rama said, we need to leave this place now because he wants to be in a quiet place. He's not supposed to be in a kingdom. So they have a plan to leave from Chitrakuta, and where did they go next? Dandaka Aranya. That's their next destination, is they're off to Dandaka Aranya. But before they leave, Bhagwan Rama thinks he needs to receive the blessings of the most blessed person in Chitrakuta because they're going on a journey. We do that too, right? Before we go to university, we touch our parents' feet and on and on and on. So he goes to see Atri Rishi, and he's asking Atri Rishi to bless him as they move to Dandaka Aranya. But Atri Rishi keeps saying, you please bless me. And what's so amazing here, as Atri Rishi is asking for blessings, Bhagwan Rama never says, Tathastu. Tathastu means, I bless you. Bhagwan Rama is supposed to be a Shishya. Bhagwan Rama is supposed to be a Manava. And for him to say Tathastu means he's greater than the Guru. That he's not come as a human. He sets that maryada, how we should be with wise people. Such details are not lost in Ramayana. So he sees Atri Rishi, he's with him, Mother Asuya is with Mother Sita. They receive those blessings and then they leave. And as they're leaving, they see this huge pile of bones, almost like a slaughterhouse or a factory farm. And they've never seen such a sight before. Some of the sages in the forest are traveling with them to help them, guide them here and there, and they ask, what is this? And those sages with deep heart say, those are the bones of our brothers and sisters that the demons have killed, the demons have eaten. And Bhagwan Rama he's torn to tears when he sees that so many, one person dies is sad, so many great people have died. And from then on, he makes it his mission, his purpose in the forest to rid Chitrakuta, Dandakaranya, all of these places of these Rakshasas. And Goswamiji actually, when Bhagwan Rama chooses that, changes his names, he's no longer known as Rama or Sitapati. He calls him Raghuvira. He starts calling him Raghuvira. You know that his name changes because his purpose changes. When you go to the office, they call you something differently, correct? When I go through immigration, they don't say, hey, Acharya Vivek, go through immigration. They question me like they question me more than they question you. Right? Because I have a different position when I cross borders, as an example. And Goswamiji stops calling Mother Sita Sita, he calls her Shri. Why does he call her Shri? Remember the clothes that Mother Anasuya gave her. Now she has these princess clothes, these queen clothes, so her name changes too. Let's get into the Vedanta of all of this. What does Atri mean? Don't say Rishi. Atri doesn't mean Rishi. Atri means the gunas, the three gunas of laziness and aggression and even calmness. Atri, the one who's beyond these three robes, which really means he's beyond Maya, because Maya and the gunas are the same. And Anasuya. Asuya means Guneshu Dosha Darshana. Guneshu, when you're around strong people, your darshana, your focus is on their dosha, on their weaknesses. So Asuya is to find fault in people's strengths. Anasuya is to find strengths in people's faults and strengths in people's strengths. Total security inside, no jealousy. Mother Anasuya represents a pure mind, and Rishi Atri represents a pure intellect. When a pure mind and a pure intellect come together, who did they give birth to? Lord Dattatreya. Dattatreya is also known as Avadhuta in Srimad Bhagavatam. For those who study this in our grade 4 curriculum, the ocean teaches me this, the wind teaches me this. Lord Dattatreya's parents are Rishi Atri and Mother Anasuya. Lord Dattatreya is the essence of knowledge. When you have a pure mind and a pure intellect, you can give birth to knowledge then. Mother Sita's guidance, how this is being extrapolated, how this is being taught, is Mother Anasuya saying that a person is tested under pressure. And specifically, what part of a person? How much dhiraja they have. One's patience is really tested under pressure, not otherwise. One's dharma is tested under pressure. How responsible you are is tested when there's a lot of temptations. Mitra, a friend, is really tested under pressure. When you need them, a real friend comes out. A friend in need is a friend indeed. And she says nari here, a woman, a wife is tested under pressure. This does not mean wife and woman and wife only. It means a person. In our case, a devotee is tested. And she gives here this Patni Dharma. She teaches Mother Sita, teaches us what the dharma is of a woman, of a wife. Now work with me. Ramayana is called a kavya. In English, that would be an epic. The epics of Sanatana Dharma are not just for entertainment, but they're to guide society. If you go back to Balakanda, we studied Putra Dharma. How to be a child is taught in Balakanda. If you go back to Ayodhya Kanda, Raja Dharma was taught. How to be a leader, how to be a politician. Now Patni Dharma is taught. When Putra Dharma was taught, did they talk about marriage there? No, that has nothing to do with the kid, right? In the next Kanda, Mitra Dharma will be taught, where Hanumanji, Sugriva, everyone is met, correct? See how thoughtful these epics are. It's not katha. It is to guide society. And I want you to realize that it's not just to patnis that this is being taught. There's various dharmas. When we get to the last kanda, Purajana Gita is taught. Purajana is how should a citizen live. They're leaving the Chitrakuta area, which is in Aranya, for you and I to get out of delusion. At a more relative level, it feels like confusion. How do you get out of confusion? Number one, the grace of the great. How do we become more clear in our lives? When the grace of the great is upon us, there is clarity. Bhagwan Rama went to meet Mother Anasuya and Rishi Atri, correct? Number two, dedication to dharma. This is how we get out of confusion, by being dedicated to our responsibilities. Mother Anasuya is teaching Mother Sita because She already knows that Mother Sita is going to be kidnapped, no? And she's teaching her to be patient, teaching her to be a friend. She knows that adversity is coming. For anyone who's observant, adversity is coming in our lives. And what protects us from adversity is dharma. Swami Tejamananda said that this teaching from Mother Anasuya was Mother Sita's kavacha when she lived in Lanka. It was her armor while she lived there. How beautifully that's shared. Dharma brings all to one. All. And one common saying related to this is, Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. The one who protects dharma, the one who follows dharma, is protected by the same. We all live with fear and insecurity. How do we reconcile that? Be responsible. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it says, Satyam vada dharmam chara. Satyam vada, speak the truth or think the truth, but then dharmam chara means you have to follow it. It doesn't say dharma vada. Just speak dharma, but don't follow it. You have to follow that also. And for every one of us, our dharma is by design. Every person in this course, every person in this class has a unique dharma that has been designed by Bhagwan for us to be strong, for us to be serene. Be responsible. If you're a student, dedicate yourself to being a student. If you're a parent, dedicate yourself to being a parent. If you're a sevika, dedicate yourself to that. No excuses. No buts. Dharma becomes what protects us and others. We'll take up one more portion. It comes really shortly after. Two wonderful sadhus that I want you to be introduced to. This is the 12th section of Chopais. And I'm reading the second Chopai, the first line. This is where Sutikshana, who's a great Shishya, is talking to Bhagwan Rama. That was 12:2, and this is the first line. Abba Prabhu Sangha Jao Guru Pahi. Sutikshana says, Bhagwan Rama, I'm coming with you to my guru's ashram. Sutikshana's guru is Agastya Rishi. We meet another Rishi. I'm going to go through all of this with you, all of the Rishis that we've met so far. It's like on our yatras, I keep asking you, okay, so who have we met? Tomakaha nata nehora nahi. And I'm accompanying you. I don't want to be a burden to you. So the lead up to this. Bhagwan Rama, Mother Sita, Sri Lakshmana have received blessings from Rishi Atri, Mother Anasuya. They've seen those bones have changed their purpose for why they're in the forest. And as they're traveling, they meet Sharabhanga Rishi. Sharabhanga. Sharabhanga Rishi is on his way to Brahmaloka. He's done so much sadhana that he's been given the reward that he gets to live with Lord Brahma and eventually get enlightened. But when he hears that Bhagwan Rama is in the forest, he tells Lord Brahma, I'll come later, that I want to see Bhagwan Rama. So he just starts wandering around the forest too till he meets Bhagwan Rama. And he's so overwhelmed by meeting Bhagwan Rama. He says, I don't want to go to Lord Brahma. I want to be with you. And Bhagwan Rama just smiles, and Sharabhanga Rishi actually, using his own yogic power, burns up his body. And he shifts to Vaikunta. And I'll explain more about that. Sharabhanga Rishi. Bhagwan Rama is traveling through the forest again. And remember, that's why he wanted to be there. He said, I have a much bigger kingdom with so many people who are living in the forests that are waiting for me. So here he meets Sutikshna. Sutikshna was one of the best disciples of Rishi Agastya. And after studying under Rishi Agastya, Sutikshna asks Rishi Agastya, what dakshina can I give you? Already it shows how great of a disciple he is, right? Once dakshina announcements come for us, right, we start playing with our phones. Oh, I can't come on the last day. He's asking what dakshina I can give. And Rishi Agastya says nothing. Rishi Agastya himself is so pleased with Sutikshna as a shishya that he says, you don't need to give me anything. It's been my honor to teach you. But Sutikshna says, I have to give you dakshina. I want to give you dakshina. So Agastya Rishi is sort of annoyed in this. So he says, fine, you want to give me dakshina? You bring Bhagwan Rama to my ashram then. Imagine someone asked you for dakshina like that. Show me Brahman. So he says, bring Bhagwan Rama to my ashram. And Sutikshna smiled and sat down. He didn't cry, he didn't hit his head, he didn't run around. He sat down and literally went through the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana more so, Dhyana more so, Samadhi. And he felt Bhagwan Rama, and someone came and told him that Bhagwan Rama's in the forest. So he jumped up and just started running around. You know, like an infant, there's no plan to what they're doing. They're just running here, running, they're just running. So he just starts running and is thinking, is Bhagwan Rama there? Is Bhagwan Rama there? He says, it doesn't matter. Wherever I go, Bhagwan Rama will go. And Bhagwan Rama does see Sutikshna, but he's hiding behind a tree, enjoying Sutikshna, saying all of these things that, is he here? Is he underneath this rock? He's in ecstasy. And Bhagwan Rama is smiling, watching all of this. Like kids playing, you know, when they're playing tea party, you just watch them like, wow, it's so easy for them to have fun. We have real tea and we're miserable. So some of the Vedanta in all of this. I was telling you about Sharabhanga. Shara means upadhi, or equipment, body, mind, intellect. Shara also means jiva. And bhanga means broken, burning. When someone burns the identification with the equipments, with the jiva, then in that moment, one comes to realize Rama. Outside Rama, inside Rama. And Sharabhanga Rishi asks for bhakti. Bhagwan, can you please live in my heart? And by asking for that, that means Rishi Sharabhanga does not merge with Sat Chit Ananda. He goes to Vaikunta. And he's waiting in Vaikunta because Bhagwan keeps great sages for great seers. When there's a great seeker, I meant great seeker. When a great seeker comes along, then Bhagwan calls such great sages to be with them. But if they merge with Satchidananda, with Brahman, then they can't be called, correct? You know, when the Muslims had invaded Bharat, and they were oppressing Bharat in Bharatiya culture, it was at that time there was this Bhakti Yuga, no? Goswamiji was born, Surdas Ji was born, Kabir Das Ji was born, Mahamira was born. At that period, no? When Bharat needed inspiration and love, they were all born. They were waiting in Vaikunta and Bhagwan called them to come meet all of these great sages because there's seekers that need them. When Bhagwan Rama is living in your heart with Sri Lakshmana and Mother Sita, can Maya touch you then? Right? It's as if you're enlightened, but you still get to be with Bhagwan. Which is why we say, past moksha, the fifth Purushartha is bhakti. Now coming to Sutikshana, this disciple of Rishi Agastya, Su means well. Tikshana means sharp. Sutikshana means the one who's very sharp. In this case, it means the one who is the best when it comes to priorities. There's no ambiguity when it comes to priorities. Sutikshana is known that even in a dream, he does not depend on any article, being, or circumstance for completion. He has a sole dependence, and that is Bhagavan Rama. In the waking state, in the dream state too, for us, that's teaching us to be independent. The only person who's going to be with you all the time is you, no? Depend on yourself. Sharabhanga Rishi, Sutikshana Rishi, they both tell Bhagavan Rama that we don't deserve you, that we've done such little sadhana. And that's actually the gauge of someone who does a lot of sadhana, is that they feel like they've done little sadhana. And the gauge of someone who's done little sadhana is they feel like they've done a lot of sadhana. Isn't it? The more you study Ramayana, the more one should feel that I don't know anything about Ramayana. And opening this up some more, if sadhana has a reward, and the reward is infinity, independent joy, how much sadhana do you have to do? You have to do infinite sadhana then, correct? Is it possible to do infinite sadhana? The only way that one can have the reward of independent joy is through grace. You be steady and sincere, Bhagavan will grace us. He will turn what we're offering in finite terms and make that infinite. And this is so beautifully shared in chapter 12 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavan Krishna there describes bhakti as someone who lives for Bhagavan. In Ramayana, the prayer is, Bhagavan, you live in my heart, correct? In Gita, it's, let me live for you. Which one is easier? I think the natural flow here is if Bhagavan lives in your heart, you will live for Bhagavan, isn't it? We all live for this functioning heart. This heart stops, everything stops. So the next time someone says, I will grant you your wish, you meet a genie. The next time you meet a sage and they say, what is your prayer? The prayer should be like Hanumanji. You live in my heart. Nara.